Good morning, day 19 of our 30-day practice. Today we are going to work on our posture. We're going to try and get back to nature. So one of my favourite authors, Jordan B. Peterson, in his 12 Rules for Life, one of his first rules is to stand up straight with the shoulders back. And that's what we're going to try and restore. Our modern day life is really designed to ruin posture. We're hunched over, and in the northern hemisphere even more so. We're trying to keep out the cold. So we're going to try and open out these shoulders. We're going to reduce tension and stress, open out the heart. We're going to get down into the hips. Try and release any trapped energy in the hips, which is a seat for tension. It's not going to be long, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you like it, and also if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Okay, so let's come to the mat. Lie down on the bed or mat or your sofa, and we'll start round 1. 30 big breaths. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Breathing in down to the belly, filling the lungs, taking a sip of air into that face, and then releasing passively. So breathe in at 100%, force air in, and then passively release it in a beautiful circular motion. So there's no gap between breathing in, breathing out. Literally like the waves lapping in on the shore and flowing out again. We'll do 30 breaths this first round. And we're going to hold our breath for 1.5 minutes. If you'd like to hold it for longer, I'll cue you up with 10 seconds to go as usual. And if you'd like to take a breath before, we've 10 more breaths, big ones. If you'd like to take a breath before, then do so. Absolutely do so. And just take your recovery breath in, hold it for 15, release, and then restart your breathing. Rejoin us. Make this work for you. Okay, we've got 2 more breaths left. Last breath in, huge breath, and let all of that air out. We're going to try and do breath out, breath holds, remember? If that's not something that you like doing and you like to hold back a sip of air, that's absolutely fine. But if you can manage to do it breath out, it's just a really nice feeling as you feel the gas exchange occur. The blood is alkalized. And as the oxygen cannot initially be uptaken because we've blown off all the carbon dioxide, you have all these amazing sensations occurring in the body that will make you feel absolutely awesome. So just lean into it, relax and enjoy. Keep the eyes closed down and just really focus on the sensations in the body. I've got 20 seconds left. If you're still with me, you're doing very well. 10 seconds left if you want to pause and hold your breath for longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take a recovery breath in. Hold it. Hold this breath. Push up through the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock, forcing this oxygen into the head. Really push up through the head. Enjoy the expression of the breath as it pushes and forces blood into the brain, and let go. Excellent. Round 2. 35 huge big breaths. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. With each breath, imagine you're breathing in relaxation and you're releasing tension and stress. This practice today is very much about not just opening out the shoulders and the hips on a physical level, but also releasing the tension that they hold on an emotional level. The hips and the shoulders are often a site where we hold emotions and situations we've maybe not dealt with, and we just hold that energy there. And today we're going to try and let that go with this beautiful breathing practice and with our asana. So just breathe in relaxation and just imagine you are letting go that tension with each out breath. Keep going. You're doing beautifully well. Really enjoy and intensify the sensations in the body. We've got 9 more. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Really try and push that last sip of air right up into the head. 5 more. It will intensify the experience that bit more when you fill the head full of air. Okay, so our last one. Huge breath in. Release it all if that's how you practice, like I do. And close down the eyes. And now let's just look at those hips. Really imagine the sacral chakra and the root chakra there, and those lower chakras, the red root chakra and the orange navel chakra, absolutely cleansing and releasing tension, cleansing and releasing, letting go, just clearing any trapped energy that isn't serving you. Just let it go. Picture your hips melting into the mat as all the tension from your thighs, your hips and pelvis and stomach just release. Just release it. Let it go. Let it soothe away. And just feel intensely relaxed. 30 seconds left. You're doing really well. This is a 2-minute breath hold, so if you're still with me, that's very good. 10 seconds. Excuse me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Hold it. Force it upwards. Push the breath upwards into the brain as though you're pushing cerebral fluid from the base of the spine, from those lower chakras and the energy centers right into that brain, and release. Well done. Round 3, 40 big breaths. In and out. In and out. We're going to do a 2.5 minute breath hold. So we'll just take those extra 5 breaths this time. 40 big breaths. Remember, if you don't do exactly the same number as me because you breathe at a different rhythm, that's fine. A few more or a few less, it really doesn't matter, as long as you can make the practice work consistently for yourself. Just beautiful big in and out breaths through the nose or the mouth, whichever is most comfortable for you. Keep going, in and out. Find your own cadence. Listen to the sound of the breath rushing in and watch it flow out passively. Listen for the rhythm, the cadence. Watch the flow as it comes in and out of your body, and meditate and hold your attention there. Make this a beautifully relaxing process for yourself. Some time for you just to be present with yourself on the mat or wherever you've chosen to practice today. 10 more breaths. Let's make these huge as they're the last ones of our day. Keep going. You're doing really well. 5 more big belly breaths. In and out. In and out. Last 2. Really get these ones right into the head. Big one in. Let it all out. Close down their eyes. And now let's go to those shoulders. Let's really focus on the back of the head. Feel like it is being drawn into the surface below. All tension let go. And those shoulders completely releasing now. Opening the heart chakra and the throat chakra completely open, cleansed and relaxed as you seep like liquid into the surface below. Open out that heart, that shoulder, those shoulders. Find your heartbeat. Focus. Listen to it. Feel it. Concentrate. And then see if you can slow your heartbeat down further. Become the master of your own body. You're doing really well. Keep going. Really just enjoy this time to let go. Just be present and focused on the beautiful, glorious relaxation occurring in the body. You're doing really well. We're nearly there at the end of this breathing section. You've got 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Hold it. Force it upwards. Push that cerebral fluid from the base of the spine into that now fully oxygenated area of the midbrain that is enjoying the blood flow of an alkaline body. And release. Well done. Just take some nice gentle breaths now, in and out through the nose, and return to your natural rhythm of breathing. In and out through the nose. And wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. We'll just stay where we are on the mat for a moment, but roll over onto your tummies. We're just going to start by gently opening out those hips straight away. I want you to bring your right knee up and out to the side, and then lie as flat as you can by opening out that right hip. So lie with your head in your hands and your arms, so we're also getting a slight shoulder opener already. The left leg is long along the mat, and we're passively opening that right hip, stretching the glute, getting a slight compression into the groin. Really, really enjoy it, the sensations. Change over. The left leg comes up, open out that hip. Right leg lies long along the mat, and put that head into the hands, opening the shoulders slightly, but really expressing that opening in the hip. apologies for my noisy house. Homeschooling is finished for the day, and so we are in playtime. Okay, bring the legs back along the mat. We're going to just get a compression into the shoulder. So right arm comes along the mat. The left leg flops over the right, and we're just going to compress the shoulder. So we're lying on the side, the shoulder is behind you, the right cheek is on the mat. We're just compressing that right shoulder, getting an opening in the left hip and groin. Change legs. So the left leg arm comes along the mat. Take the right leg over the left, compressing the left shoulder, opening out the right hip this time. And the left side of the face comes to the mat. Feels a little bit weird, this one. Just bear with it. We're just compressing those shoulders before we open them out. We could do lots of heart opening and shoulder openers, and we need to counteract each move. Okay, now come back onto the knees. I want you to come back into a wide-legged forward child's pose, getting a nice compression on those hips, stretching out those arms, and we were already starting out at shoulder openers here. Open the heart towards the mat. Head rests gently with no force on the mat. And now come onto the hands and knees. We'll take puppy pose, heart melting pose. Hands to the width of the mat. Bring your forehead to the mat and just take that back bend. This is a strong pose. Very, very, very good shoulder opener and heart opener. If you need to take more weight into those knees because it's too strong across the shoulders, do that. Take it to where you can comfortably to get the back bend and the shoulder opener without stressing out the back too much. Come up to all fours again. And then sit back with the toes turned under. We'll just quickly warm up those toes. Preparation for our downward dogs. And take the hands into Venus lock behind the back and open that heart. If you're comfortable, please take the head back too, and we'll open out the thyroid to stimulate the metabolism. This is a strong heart opener, so just take it to where you're comfortable. And then come up to sitting. And then we're going to come standing on the mat. And we'll find some movement. So come into a horse stance. I'm going to turn my back to you because it's easier to show you what I'm going to do. So come into a horse stance, and we're going to alternate the shoulders by bending the elbows one after the other above the head. We've done this before, so just find a rhythm with it. Keeping those shoulders completely open, so we're not collapsing forwards or backwards, and try not to touch the body with the hands, and that way we know that you're opening your shoulders to their full extent. Really forcing synovial fluid into the shoulder joints is quite a beautiful, refreshing movement. And this is one of the ways after I had a shoulder injury that I recuperated by doing this for quite a few minutes every day. Then again, we're going to open out the shoulders more. So bring the hands to prayer position behind the back. And then let's just pulse in that horse stance. This is a great for the hips as well. Really building strength and support in them. Okay, come to stillness. And then meet me at the front of your mat. And we'll just breathe with our movements. So we're going to raise the hands above the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the hands through your heart. Breathe in. Raise the hands above the head. Take the right hand forward, the left hand back. Look over your left shoulder. Bump your hips forwards. Change arms. Left hand forward, right arm back. Bump the hip forwards. Bring the arms back. Cactus. Back bend. Breathe in, raise. Breathe out, cactus the arms, back bend. Breathe in, raise. And then take hold of the right arm in the left hand and lean over to the left. Change hands. Left hand in the right, lean over to the right. Back to center, breathe in, and then forward fold as you breathe out. To a nice forward fold. Let's just find some movement in our forward fold. Bend one knee and then the other. Keep going. And then take the hands in Venus lock behind the back, and we're going to fold. Let gravity take those shoulders over our back. If you want to keep your knees bent here, that's fine. You may need to do that for balance. Work them towards straight as and when you feel ready to do that. The head has no weight in it at all. We're just letting gravity fold those arms over. Okay, halfway lift, breathe in. And then step back to a plank pose, high plank, with a breath out. Hold your plank. So get some strength into that core. And the shoulders, make sure the shoulders are forcing up from the ground. And then slowly lower all the way to the ground. And we'll find a cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders, take the head back if you're comfortable. Really getting some strength into those shoulders and opening out the front body and the hips. And then flip over those toes back to a downward dog. And as usual, let's find movement by bending one knee and then the other in our downward dog. There's no weight in the head with a downward dog, and evenly spread the weight through your fingers so the weight isn't through the wrists. And this is a strong shoulder opener and heart opener. To get the right hip position, turn the heels slightly out. Okay, now let's open that right hip out. Take it high and then bend the knee and open the hip, keeping even weight through the hands so the work is in the hip and the side body, not in the hands. Straighten out the legs, square off the hips. And then step the leg through, low lunge. And then spin the arms open, we'll come to a warrior two. Really open out those hips now. Open out those arms, and then breathe in, straighten the leg, breathe out, bend. Breathe in, straighten out the leg, raise the arms, breathe out, bend. One last time, breathe in, open those arms up. And then bend back into your warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. And then tick-tock over into Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can either come to a block or your leg or the floor, depending on where you're comfortable. Really keep those arms open. This is a heart opener and a hip opener. Now we're going to change to a twisted triangle, so the right arm lifts and the left hand comes to the floor, and you must readjust that back foot. Come back to a low lunge, breathe out, high plank, lower to chaturanga or cobra, upward dog, and then breathe out, downward dog. Come to your breath, come back to your rhythm of your breath in and out through the nose with these downward dogs. The downward dog in and of itself is a great heart opener and really good for the hips. So we'll be holding it for a little bit longer than usual. Okay, let's open that left hip now. Take it high and then bend the knee, keeping even weight through the hands so the twist is in the body and the opening is in the hip. And just hold it. Straighten out the legs, straighten out the hips, and then step that leg between the hands. Low lunge, take the head up, and then we're going to spin those arms round and come to warrior two. Back heel turns down at 30 degrees, front foot faces the front of the mat. Open out those shoulders and your heart, knit in the ribs, and really press down into those hips. Breathe in, raise your hands, straighten the leg, breathe out, warrior two. Breathe in, straighten the arms, straighten the leg, breathe out, warrior two. Last time, breathe in, raise those hands high, and breathe out back into your warrior two. Hold it, And then we're going to straighten that front leg and then tick-tock the arms over into our Trikonasana triangle pose. Gaze up at that top hand if you're feeling comfortable. And really enjoy this strong shoulder opener and hip opener. Readjust that back foot and then we're going to reverse our triangle. So right hand comes to the floor, left arm lift. So we're getting a beautiful twist in that body and across the shoulders. Both hands back to the mat, low lunge, step back, high plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Come back to your breath. Find a natural rhythm of breathing in and out, steady breath through the nose. And remember to try and really find that position in the downward dog that's opening out the heart and squaring off your shoulders. Either walk or jump to the front of your mat, forward fold, breathe out, breathe in, raise those arms high, tall mountain, breathe out, hands to heart center. Let's flow again. Breathe in, raise the arms high, breathe out, swan dive to a forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, breathe out, jump back, chaturanga or step back, breathe in, upward dog, breathe out, downward dog. Raise that right leg high, three-legged dog. And then step to the outside of your right hand with your right foot. And hold it, really feeling that stretch in the hips now. And then we're going to bring that back knee to the floor. Open out the right knee on the blade of your foot. Open out that shoulder and gaze over the right shoulder as we're getting a beautiful twist in the body across the shoulders and an opening in that right hip. Make sure you're not sinking into the left shoulder. You're pushing up from the floor as much as sinking into the mat. Bring it back to center. And we're going to do pigeon, but we're going to stay in swan. So we're going to stay upright like this and take a back bend and open the shoulders. And if you can comfortably, open out that neck. Come back to your three-legged dog. Raise that leg high and bring both feet back to the mat. Breathe in and out through your nose in your downward dog. Left leg lifts. And then step it through to the outside of your left hand. Hold it. Feel into that stretch in the hip. And bring that back knee to the floor. Open out the left leg, knee on the blade of the foot. Gaze over your left shoulder, keeping those shoulders nice and open, and really open out that left hip now. And then take that left foot over to your right hand. We're coming to swan or pigeon and open out the head. Again, we're taking a back bend and shoulder opener here, as well as that beautiful hip compression and hip opener. Come back to your three-legged dog. And then breathe out, downward dog. Remember to turn the toes slightly in and the heels slightly out, keeping the legs hip width apart. That way you will get the perfect hip position. Okay, I want you to jump through your hands now. We're going to come into a boat pose. Hold your boat. And then we're going to take the hands to Arrow Mudra. So bring the hands together and point the index fingers. And then we're going to take them either side of the legs. So left and then right. Just getting into the lateral side of the body here. And improving our balance and core stability. All of which will help your posture. This is a boat pose is so good for improving posture. Then if you can, straighten the legs and hold the pose. And release. Well done. Okay, now I want you to come into a garland pose, Malasana, which is a low yoga squat. And then bring the hands to the sternum, to heart center, and use the elbows to open out those knees. This is a beautiful hip and groin opener. It's so good and very good at straightening out any hips that aren't quite in the right place. And we'll take a twist here. So right hand comes to the floor, left hand comes to the floor, right arm lifts, looking over that shoulder. And then the right hand comes to the floor, left arm lifts, looking over that shoulder. Change. Left hand to the floor, right arm lifts. And then right hand to the floor, left arm lifts. And now we're just going to get some strength building into those glutes and hips. So I'm turning sideways, you don't need to stay in your squat. And we're just going to raise and lower the hips. So just to the height of about your knees. We're going to do it 6 times. 2. Raise and lower. 3. Really getting some strength into those hips and groins. 4. 5. 6. That's our last one. Just find the pose again. Just hold it. Last push. Opening those knees. And we're going to just do crow pose, just because it's a really good strengthener for the arms. So come into chaturanga, our hands, lift, put the legs into the backs of the arms, and lift one leg then the other off the floor. Building strength across those shoulders. Okay, bring the feet back into your boat pose. And this time we're going to lift and lower into low boat, high boat. So low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat. Remember, this is working on our core stability, which will help your posture. So it's really worth pushing through and getting these done. Keep going. Hold it, perfect the pose, straighten the legs if you can. And release, well done. Okay, come onto the back now. And take a bridge. We're going to give you options here now. You can either take a bridge, or you can take a bridge with a shoulder opener. So bring the hands to Venus lock and come onto the shoulders. Or you can turn the hands over and come on and raise up and come onto the head. Or you can come all the way up into wheel and just hold it. Whichever you've chosen, we'll just hold it for a few seconds. And then release, come back onto the mat, bring the knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. Remember, at any point you need to pause the video to try some of these. That's absolutely fine, especially the crow pose and the wheel. Don't rush them. Just pause the video and just try them in your own time. Okay, we're just going to open out those hips a little bit more now and come into celebrate pose. So bring the heels either side of the hips. If you need to sit onto a cushion, that's absolutely fine. If you want to lie back onto a cushion, that's fine. Or if you're feeling supple today, then come back like I am onto the floor and take the hands above the head. We're opening the shoulder, we're opening the heart, we're opening the hips and the groin. It's a beautifully strong pose, but it's a powerful pose. It's really going to improve the tone and strength of your core. And breathe in and out through the nose. Breathe into the sensations and any pains. But if you do experience pains in the knees, then you can sit onto a cushion. It'll make it easier. Okay, come up to sitting. We're going to come to a wide-legged stance on the mat. So just go to where you're comfortable with the knees turning up and the feet turning up. And then I just want you to come onto those sitting bones. Make sure the hips are even. And then as you breathe out, fold forward over this wide-legged forward fold. This is a glorious way of realigning hips. So if you can sit like this for 1 to 3 minutes, it's very, very, very good at opening the groins, strengthening the hamstrings, and realigning any hip positions that aren't quite perfect. keep breathing. You're doing really well. This has not been a terribly easy practice, but you will feel great after. Okay, bring the feet together, heels and soles, come into cobbler's pose, the butterfly pose, and either hold onto the ankles and open the knees with the elbows, or hold onto the feet and use them to sit up straight through the spine, really getting that beautiful defined posture, opening the shoulders away from the ears. And now we're going to come into fire log pose. So you're going to bring the left leg square to the front of the mat and take the right foot, the right heel into the left knee, and then bring the hands to prayer position at the back. So we're opening the shoulders, sitting up tall through the sitting bones, and this fire log pose is not comfortable, but it's an amazing hip opener. If your knee is up, it doesn't matter. Just try and hold it to where you can, and if it's too much with the hands and you need to support the legs with the hands, that's fine. There's a lot going on here and we haven't done it before, so maybe pause and just work out what's going on. So this is fire log, and we're stacking one leg over the other with the feet at parallel to the front of the mat. So this time now, the right leg comes parallel to the front of the mat and we stack the left leg. So the legs aren't crossed, they're stacked. And then if you're comfortable in this stacking, open out those shoulders, bring the hands to prayer behind the back and close down the eyes. So the shoulder, we're getting a strong shoulder and hip opener here. Try and sit up tall through that spine and knit in the ribs and keep breathing. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. We're working hard, but we're not working for long, so keep going. Excellent. Give those hands a shake. Well done. We are so nearly there and you're doing so well. Okay, bring the knees to your chest. Let's just counteract some of those stronger poses by having a rock and roll from side to side. And then we're going to take the hands to T or goalpost and rock those legs over to the left. And you know what's coming because this is how we end our practice, people. And close down your eyes now and really enjoy this passive twist. Gazing over the right shoulder glued to the mat. Just really working out those lateral side of the body. Back to center. Rock them over to the right. Look over the left shoulder, keeping the left shoulder glued to the mat. You're doing beautifully well. Keep going. We're nearly there. It's been an intense practice. But hopefully if you come back to this one a few times, you will begin to notice that your posture corrects very quickly. And that generally you are more comfortable and more conscious of how you are sitting or standing. Okay, we're going to open out the legs now, and instead of a usual Shavasana, for the first few seconds I want you to take the hands. We're just going to have one last shoulder opener. So open out the feet, let them flop open, but take the hands and hold the elbows above the head. Really sink into the mat though and relax now. Relax those hips. Now bring the hands to the side, open out the hands, sink into the mat, melt into the mat. Breathe steadily in and out through the nose. Just notice the work integrating into the body. Circle those fingers, circle those toes, and then rock up to sitting. You can stay in Shavasana for longer, obviously, if you want to, or you can come sit up with me and bring those hands to the heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the divine light within you guide your way on. From my heart to yours, Sat Nam, Namaste, Waheguru. I hope you enjoyed that. That's the conclusion of day 19. Tomorrow we are going to do our longer breath holds, and as well as the longer breath holds, we're going to do a longer asana hold. So we'll do some of the asanas that we already know. I'll probably throw in a few new ones. We're just going to hold them a bit longer. So it'll be more like a hatha yoga practice. And what we'll try and do is ease into those poses more comfortably and just take it a little bit further with the breath. It's always with the breath. Have a lovely day, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.